Guten Tag und willkommen to this half of Monka Simstrap. My name is Angel, and I am the veteran simmer for this channel. What am my whole train of thought just keeps getting derailed. My goodness. Welcome to what is that? Oh, it's counter. Simply Chaotic, episode 2, type 2, whatever. This is the second one of Simply Chaotic. In the previous episode, I failed miserably. I don't know if failed, I mean, I wasn't really doing a challenge, but I guess I was, but I don't know. I didn't succeed well, and I got frustrated and said nope, but I kind of was making it with the idea of doing the Three Little Sims. Well, I did it with the Living in the Walls, but then it kind of turned into sort of a Three Little Sims-like challenge, and I said, you know, I really want to do the Three Little Sims. So here we are, and I'm doing Simply Chaotic is going to be the Three Little Sims challenge. So the Three Little Sims challenge is basically, I don't know if basically is the right word. It's, you create three Sims that don't know each other than are just roommates. You create three houses for them to live in, and then you rotate between them, and you're like your active sim. You rotate between your active sims. You have and you play Sim A on Monday, Sim B on Tuesday, and Sim C on Wednesday, and then Sim A on Thursday, Sim B on Friday, and Sim C on Saturday, and you continue in that pattern of rotating between the three of them for as long as you're doing the challenge. There are several rules for it. I will have the official challenge stuff linked in the description so that you can check the challenge out for yourself. It's one of the less intense challenges that are out there, but I think it sounds like a lot of fun because of you leave two sims to their own devices for for 2 days in a row, basically. Regardless of who you start with, and I just thought that sounds kind of fun, and here I am doing it. I'm going to link the. No, I'm not. I lied. I won't do that. There's no reason to do that. But what am I saying? I'm saying words, and I'm tired, and it's Friday, and. But Anyway, so I created three Sims. I created three girls, and they're just roommates. They're all very different from each other. They are in the thumbnail, but you'll actually officially meet them in the next official episode of this challenge. I will be getting back to tonal eventually. I know I will, because I know I'm close to them having a baby, or making a baby, so I know I don't want to completely abandon it and stuff. But for now, we're working on this, or I'm working on this. But anyway, I made three Sims. I made a green Sim, a red Sim, and a purple-blue Sim. So Demeter is the green-haired Sim, and her favorite color is green, and her whole house is going to be green. Aphrodite, or Aphrodite, as my brain keeps wanting to call her. Was soll ich bloß mit der hier anfangen, Aphrodite? I want to keep doing that. And it's not right. Her name is Aphrodite, although Aphrodite's not, wrong, but whatever. We're speaking English right now. Or are we? Anyway, Demeter is the red Sim, and then Athena is the blue or purple Sim. The Sims does not have as much purple stuff as it does blue stuff, so she is the only one that has, that forgiveness of doing blue and purple. Funny enough, we end up with the actual primary colors from a spectrometry or spectrum point of view: green, red, and blue. Because everything you've learned in art class is wrong. No, for art, the primary colors are red, green, and yellow, or red, yellow, and blue. But for science and for the cones in your eyes, it's green, red, and blue, or red, green, and blue. That's why, color blindness, it goes red, green, or blue, or whatever. So but anyway, I unintentionally ended up with those primary colors because I wanted purple. But again, there's not as much purple stuff as there is blue stuff. So I tried to use this when we get to the furnishing portion of the video. You'll see I try to use as much purple as I possibly can, but it's just there's just not as much purple. I think it's because like purple is not like that's why purple people are kind of crazy, guilty. But purple people like if they find something that is in purple, they're excited because it's not as easy to find like purple things as it is to find other colors. Um, but yeah, I built 3 houses and I think they turned out quite cute. Part of the challenge has like a money restriction, like you can only build the houses and only use whatever their starting funds are. And I said, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do what I want to do with it. I'm going to build their houses basing them off of color and such. That way I can have fun with it, everything. But I do give them a very low starting fund. Like they only have enough simoleons to pay their bills the first time they come, or they just have enough to pay their bills the first time they come. But so the challenge, like I said, the challenge is basically you leave your Sims. This frustrated me. Sorry, I just noticed what's going on. For some reason, I was trying to do that whatever it's called thingy, um, where you have the columns and then you have that cute little decoration thing that connects the columns, and it wasn't working for the other 2 colors, and I was getting so frustrated by it. I was like, why is this not working? I don't understand. But when I went back in later, I realized that, yeah, okay, so at least it's not working on the green one anymore. It had worked on the green one, and then it decided to not work anymore. But at least it decided to not work anymore on the green one. We went with a nice white one. White is my default neutral color. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. They kind of follow, the girls sort of have, like, 2 colors in a way. Like, I've lost her name. Aphrodite has a lot of black. Or not a lot of black, but black seems to be, like, the secondary color I picked for her. And I don't think I needed a secondary color for, I didn't. Maybe white. Maybe white is a secondary color for Demeter. But either way, I have it's using a Strangerville furnishing and windows and stuff. I had all the colors I could possibly want, and it was that I needed for this, and it turned out really nice. Very happy with these houses. I don't know, they just turned out really cute. And they do, when the furnishing comes, it is just bare minimum furnishing. Like, they don't have a lot of extra stuff. They basically have all the necessities. Yes, they all have a TV, and yes, they all have a computer, but I think by logic of The Sims 4, computers and TVs are considered necessities. Like, or at least a TV is. Like, a Sims whim could be buy a television, and the reason it says they have that whim is because they don't own a home necessity. And it's like, really? You're considering a TV a necessity? I wouldn't do that, but The Sims does, so I was like, okay, we're gonna consider it a necessity. I wanted them all to have a little backyard. Demeter is a freelance botanist, not freelance botanist. Is that the name of the aspiration? You think I know? I really don't. Demeter is the growing aspiration. She wants to grow plants and stuff, and so that's partially why she's the green sim. She's also a vegetarian. I love all 3 of these girls. I think they all came out beautiful. And when I make sims, a lot of the time, especially if I don't have a idea for what they should look like, I just keep hitting the randomizer until I get a sim that I like how it looks. Um, Sometimes I'll tweak it from there. Like, I tweaked all their bodies from whatever their default was, because, sometimes you'll get something like, they'll have very broad shoulders, and I'm like, I don't want her to have broad shoulders. Or like, the common one is their breasts will be very saggy, and I'm like, why do they all have saggy boobies? Like, why is this just like, the default thing? So I always, like, fix that. I'm like, they shouldn't be down here, okay? They just shouldn't. But yeah, these girls were all pretty much randomized, and I just tweaked them from there, and I just really like how they all turned out. They're all very cute, very pretty. My I don't really have a long-term goal with this challenge. I kind of just want to play it and have fun with it. I am sort of thinking that they should all have a child so that the child can continue the challenge. But mainly because I'm just my Sims always seem to be a heck of a lot smarter than everybody else's Sims. Like when I watch like Gray Still Plays or Lil Simsy or Plumbella or anyone playing The Sims, their Sims always seem so much stupider. Their Sims are always doing really stupid things, and I'm just like, I leave my Sims alone and they're fine. So I don't foresee my Sims just dying. I foresee some interesting things happening. Like they're not going to feed themselves properly, but they're not going to die of starvation. Like they might pee themselves all the time, but they're not going to die of embarrassment. I just don't see my Sims like completely falling apart just because I know my game, and my game has a tendency to the Sims just sort of exist quite intelligently. But anyway, um, I was thinking a long-term thing to maybe have them each have a child so that their child can continue the challenge and continue on. I think that would be fun. Um, you're also getting to see my process for doing this. Like, I mean, you probably already have gathered that I have a process when I build. I always build in the same order. I build the house, I do the outside, and then I go on to the inside. I do windows and doors, and then I go to do the flooring, and then I do the walls. Sometimes I do the walls first, but usually I do the floors first. And this has just been the way I've built as long as I can remember. I did get a giggle out of the fact that they all have like very blatant windows in their bathrooms, but I was like trying to be consistent, trying to have the houses be as similar as they could be. They're not identical, naturally, because they're on different angles and stuff, but they're pretty similar. Yeah, yeah, Athena's house is the one I struggled with the most, just because I was like, how do I not make this horrifically obnoxious? Because like some of the only purple ones are these really loud floors, and I'm like, oh gosh, how do I do this? But the end result is pretty good. Like I said, I allowed myself to use blue with her as well. And you see, I think the floor ends up actually being a wood floor, and I'm not counting wood. Like a wood floor is a wood floor, okay? I'm not going to go completely crazy over the fact that I didn't have a completely purple carpet or completely blue carpet. Like Demeter's carpet isn't even a carpet; she's got grass. There we go. There it is. I just pointed to my screen like you could see me. You can't see me pointing at the screen. That's just silly. What is that? Anyway, yeah, and I did it. I thought I used actual green on her wall, but I guess I went with pink just to try to not make it as obnoxious. Like, I was sort of telling myself, don't worry about being obnoxious. Part of your goal is to be obnoxious with this. You want to be obnoxious. You want each house to be obnoxiously X color. And I know the red house, I know Aphrodite's house is obnoxiously red. Like it is so red, and I love it. I just I think I love them each girl for their own reasons, but I think Aphrodite I really love because I don't normally like the thick eyebrows. Um, I don't quite have caterpillar eyebrows, but my eyebrows, if I don't deal with them, get kind of thick. And I know thick eyebrows are like the style right now, but I don't know. I just don't like it. Maybe it's because I'm a 90s person. I don't know, early 2000s. But either way, I just don't really love the bushy eyebrows usually. And they just looked really good on Demeter. So, not Demeter, that's not the right one, Aphrodite. My favorite part of this house is the communal pool. Um, that because when I was thinking about this house in my head, my first thought was they have a community pool. They have a pool that all three of them share. Um, and then I figured to do the green water. You'll see that in a second. Because I really love the get together water, and I like the green one. It's not mold, it's the minerals, guys. It's minerals. I feel like taking a swim in that water would feel so nice. Like, I don't know. um, but yeah, this video is over 20 minutes, and I don't exactly want to be talking the whole time, but we're not. But like, also, I'm at this far in, so I might as well just keep talking. I don't know. There's very minimum landscaping to this house, just because the house takes up most of the land. Oh, there's the weird cut. Okay, so this is simply chaotic, right? Well, it's also chaotic because I have never had the trouble with video files and such that I have had so far with Simply Chaotic. Um, Basically, like the last time I had to go back and play on Friday because like last Friday I had to go back and actually play the game because the file had gotten corrupted. Excuse me, need to take a drink. And that was frustrating. And then this one, the video on the Windows like video thingy, like the Windows Media Player, it plays back completely fine. There are no issues with it. But when I brought it into the my video software, it just it it had no audio, and I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna be deleting the audio anyway. So that was fine. And then when I'm getting around to actually like speeding it up and everything, it did something stupid again, and there was just a black screen for like I don't even know how long, several minutes. There was just a black screen, and I was like, what is wrong with this? It played back fine. So you don't get to see most of Demeter's house being built, but over time you'll eventually see it. The houses are all very similar, like in the placement of furniture and whatnot. In fact, that was just me referencing the other house. Um, there we go. See, you saw her whole house. There you go. They all have like the same amount of certain objects. Like they all have the same amount of decorations. Although I do know when I go back into play, one of the earliest things that happens is I give Aphrodite another decoration, but then it's because she's a snob, so the room is not as nicely decorated for her as it is for everybody else because she's a snob. But anyway, spoiler alert. Anyway, I think the Deliciously Red house is kind of my guilty pleasure favorite house, even though purple is my favorite color. How often do you get to just use all of the red furniture, you know? Like, usually you're like, oh, a splash of red here. Red is just such an obnoxious color. It's just such a loud color. And they all have a Penguin TV, by the way. They all have the Penguin TV. I love the Penguin TV, but it's just such a junky TV. But it's such a cute TV. It's a penguin. Yeah, how often do you get to just use, like, all of the red? Other than like if you're doing, a one color only challenge. In a way, this sort of is that. It is basically like I'm only allowed to use I can really only use mostly red items for Aphrodite's house. I can only use green items for Demeter's house. And I don't understand what it is with the Sims team and green, but my goodness, is there a lot of green in this game? I mean, the Sims color basically is green, but still. I like that they all have their own like bath. It's like Demeter has a bath shower. What? Sorry, I heard something. Aphrodite just has a bath, but Athena is just gonna have a shower. Yeah, see, yeah, there's just not as much purple, so I definitely had to. I had to add blue, or else she wouldn't have had like anything in our house. As you can see, I started with the lights. I don't usually do that. In fact, I am very good at completely forgetting to add lights to houses. I've gotten better at it since playing The Sims 4, but way back in the day with The Sims 2, I would build an entire house, like 3 floors and all this other stuff, and like it would be beautiful fully furnished. And then I would forget the lights. So I would go into the game and there would be no lights. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When I go into play, for some reason Athena's like bedroom wall is deleted, like her wallpaper, and I was like, "What is that?" And I was watching. I was like, "I'll watch it back and see if I actually forgot." No, I didn't forget. I just saw me do that. I never used that table and chairs that I just used, and I was really happy to get have a chance to use it. Athena accidentally ends up having the most expensive house because I use a lot of the glamour life stuff for her, but that's because it's purple. It had really nice purple swatches, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have good purples. So she does end up with some of the more expensive items compared to her roommates or lot mates. But okay, yeah, at this point I might as well just keep babbling on. At least I'm like actually talking about something relevant this time. I'm talking about the house and stuff. So I'm still train of thoughting, but yeah, the vampire stuff goes really well because it has purple. Like that's really the only reason I went with it, because it was purple and I need it purple. um but yeah, I think the video is going to end really abruptly too, because my filming was a little bit weird because I built this and then immediately started playing with it. But not quite there, not quite there yet. Sorry, I got distracted by the tree out my window. But yeah, there's a lot from Glamour Life. Is that what it's called? Glamour Life? Vintage. Vintage? Vintage. I don't remember the name of the pack, but you guys know which pack I'm talking about. The one I think it's Vintage Glamour. Vintage Glamour. That's where I got Glamour from. What the heck is Glamour Life then? Was it Sims 1? I barely even played The Sims 1. I'm trying to get The Sims 1 to work on my computer. I think I'm gonna try a virtual XP. There's another game I want to play that I know will work with a virtual XP. So I am actually nearing the end. I see I have very little time left. So my name is Angel. My name is Miss Angel. I'm a teacher, can you tell? But my name is Angel. This is my half of Monka Simstrap. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you continue watching, just because Rocco and I are crazy and we have fun with The Sims because we both really love it. Und auf Wiedersehen, bis später. Yeah, bye y'all. See ya.